Welcome in to this special edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we will react to Daniel Jeremiah's newest Seahawks mock draft, his first of 2025. We'll tell you what DJ had to say, share our thoughts, and I'll explain why Mike Macdonald specifically would love this pick. We'll have it all for you coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's program, folks, I want to make sure you are subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today. We are in a sub-battle all week long with our 49ers channel. End of the week, final day, and folks, I have an update. We're a little bit behind in this sub-battle this week. The Niners at 255 new subscribers for the week. We're at 250. So we need to close the door, folks. We're only 5 back. Do your part for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long, from daily news and rumors to live shows twice a week, including tomorrow. On Mondays and Wednesdays, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. It's all in one place. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. I think he does a fantastic job. I have been a fan of his for a long time. He was a great hire by the NFL Network when he replaced Mike Mayock several years ago. He put out his first mock draft of the year. And I got to tell you, I'll say this. As much as I like DJ, I don't agree with this pick, but I don't necessarily hate this pick. But I can see why Mike Macdonald would love this pick for Seattle. Daniel Jeremiah, in his latest mock draft, is projecting the Seahawks to select Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant at 18th overall. Let's tell you what DJ had to say about this pick and why he projects Seattle going with Kenneth Grant. Mike Macdonald looks back to his old stopping grounds at Michigan to select Grant, who would be a part of a great interior trio with Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy II. Keep in mind that Jarran Reed and Jonathan Hankins are headed for free agency. All right, so DJ brings up a very good point, that this would make for an unstoppable force on the defensive line. Leonard Williams isn't going anywhere. Obviously, he just started a new contract this year. Byron Murphy was your first-round pick last year. You would be in really good shape on that defensive line. But with that said, he mentions Reed and Hankins going to free agency. There's no reason to bring back Jonathan Hankins. He was just absolutely horrible this past season. And then Jarran Reed, I think they're going to bring him back. I think they're going to find a way to bring him back into the fold. So defensive line, you need some depth pieces, but I don't think you have to sacrifice your position of where you're at 18th overall, of needing help on the offensive line to address the defensive line issue at this point in time. If you're Seattle, your number one priority no matter what is the offensive line. And if you look at DJ's mock draft, the way this works out, some of those names that we would potentially be looking at for Seattle on the offensive line, I'll say this, to be fair, are gone. He's got Will Campbell at number 4 to the New England Patriots. He also has Tyler Booker at number 10 to the Chicago Bears. Armand Mimbo to the Niners at 11. Kelvin Banks to the Dolphins at 14. But then you look beyond that of other offensive linemen that are picked in the first round, according to DJ here. You have Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle from Oregon, going to the Rams at 26. You got Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle from Ohio State, going to the Commanders at 29. So there are other offensive linemen, even with the good run on them being taken here. So I don't think Seattle has to settle for not getting an offensive lineman in the first round just because some of those other big names are gone at that point in time. What I will say, that if Seattle does go ahead and go with Kenneth Grant with this first round selection, or any player that's not an offensive lineman here, they better have the offensive line situation very shored up. Whether it's addressing it in the other rounds or addressing it in free agency or trades, they better be very confident. That's all I'll say there. If you're not going to use a first-round pick on an offensive lineman, you have to be very confident otherwise. And maybe potentially they are here. I think Macdonald would love this pick because it's a player he's familiar with. Being a Michigan man, getting help on the defense, his side of the football. But I would still have some big questions when it comes to that offensive line. How would you grade the pick of Kenneth Grant to the Seahawks? Give me a grade. A, B, C, D, or F. Way in the comments section, let us know what you think of the pick. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one stat projection, you can win real cash. And with PrizePicks right now, you can turn $5 into $50, folks. You want to know how? All you have to do is play $5. They'll give you $50 to play for free. You can win up to 1,000 times your money at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. And I got to tell you, on PrizePicks today, here's what I got. I got Xavier Worthy to have more than 3.5 rushing yards. I got Josh Allen to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. You can play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. All right, so let's tell you more about Kenneth Grant. I would give the grade for this pick a B+ myself because I like the player, but I do think this team has other priorities to address. Not a bad pick, but there are more pressing matters when it comes to the offensive line. I respect DJ, but respectfully, I would have not made that same selection if I were him. With that said, Kenneth Grant, fantastic football player. He is a big fella, folks. 6'3", 339. His first season at Michigan was when Mike Macdonald first went to the Baltimore Ravens. So they didn't necessarily cross paths. I would guess, I don't know this for certain, Mike Macdonald probably recruited Kenneth Grant, was involved in that process. But very young, just 21 years old, and already has a pretty good resume. Won a national championship with the Wolverines last year, a third-team All-American this past year, 2 times second-team All-Big Ten selection in 2023 and in 2024. The numbers don't necessarily tell the full story when it comes to Kenneth Grant of his talent level, as he took on a lot of double teams and whatnot. This past year had 32 total tackles, 3 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and had 5 pass breakups, which is very solid for a defensive lineman there. Bleacher Report offers this up when it comes to his scouting report. Good size for an NFL defensive tackle and doesn't carry much bad weight. Takes on blocks with his hands and has strength to gain control of the block at the point of attack. Hard to move with one-on-one blocks and is silent at holding ground against double teams. Has a strong and sturdy base. Quick to recognize down blocks to avoid getting washed inside. Has a nice swim move / arm over to defeat or escape blocks against the run. Gets his hands up when he doesn't hit home as a pass rusher to bat passes at the line of scrimmage. The negatives, a couple things from Bleacher Report here. Doesn't offer much as a pass rusher. He stands up out of his stance on passing downs, and the subpar pad level hurts his bull rush, and he lacks twitch and quickness to win his finesse moves. Has inconsistent hands placement as a run defender, often landing them wide on the offensive lineman and exposing his chest. So that's the thoughts from Bleacher Report there. I think he's tremendous talent. I prefer to go offensive line, but if you are going to go defense, I think Kenneth Grant would be a very good call if you are going to go that route. Is that what I would advise? No, but we'll see what Seattle ends up doing. Who should the Seahawks select in the draft in the first round? Is it a guy like Kenneth Grant? Is it somebody else that comes to mind? Maybe an offensive lineman? Give me a name that comes to mind that you would like to see the Seahawks draft in the first round, weigh in and let us know. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for the latest happenings on your favorite team all off-season long. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.